Welcome to SB 67D, Principles of Management 1. My name is Felicia Frida Iden Aqua. We'll be looking at Unit 1, the nature of management. We're going to focus our discussion on Session 2, the management process. By the end of this session, you should be able to identify and explain the main activities as well as functions of management, give examples under the various management processes, and differentiate the various functions, as well as be able to explain the interrelationship between the various stages, as well as how managers are able to handle some of these activities for the organization's performance. So let's go in to look at the functions of management. Like we made mention in session 1, the management functions today or contemporarily are grouped into 4, which is the planning function, the organizing function, the leading function, and the controlling function. When we're looking at planning, we're looking at being able to look into the future, to see the things we will be needing or the things we need to put in place, and then you basing on that to put in place strategies, systems, and things to be able to achieve these future objectives or goals we've set for ourselves. So we're saying that planning is integral to decision making of the organization, especially when it comes to what has to be done. So managers have to be able to predict what is going to happen, and then they come in to be able to do the planning. Then we go to organizing. Once you've been able to plan, you should be able to organize. Organizing, we're looking at the systems, processes, procedures, everything we need to get the thing done. When it comes to how we're going to even get our resources and all those things, they are all key in the organizing function. So when it comes to organizing, we're looking at determining, assembling, arranging activities, resources for the plans, and the coordination of these activities to be able to use the various resources we have into an appropriate structure to achieve the organizational goal. So yes, we have a plan that we want to be the best distance education outlet in Ghana or something. There's a need for us to be able to put in place things, structures, systems, procedures, gather resources we need to be able to do or achieve these ones. Put in place some sort of all the people we need and all the resources we need to be able to work with them properly. And so there's a need for you to determine which ones you need, which resources you need. You need to be able to assemble and arrange these ones. You need to be able to coordinate the activities for you to be able to meet that organizational goals you have in mind. And so when it comes to organizing, managers actually determine what tasks need to be performed. They need to assign responsibility. So who is in charge of what tasks, who is responsible for which tasks. They need to be able to define authority, because if you are assigning a task to someone and they don't have that power, that authority to be able to execute it, they still won't be able to function. And then there's a need to also look out for the responsibility relationship. Who is responsible for this, and who is he or she reporting to supervise or to look out for those things that have to be done. And so in the organizing function, we're looking out for putting in place everything we need to be able to really get the things we've planned to get achieved. Then we come to the leading function. We can't do this without people. We made mention earlier that when it comes to management, it's a social process, and so people are very key in management. And so there's a need for you to be able to what? Influence, direct, and then motivate your people you're going to work with. So when we're looking at leadership, we're looking at directing, influencing, motivating, and supervising subordinates to stimulate high employee performance. If you're going to get the work done and get it properly done and get it done in time, you need people, and people will just not do the thing. No, sometimes you would have to direct them. You have to do this A, B, C, D. You need to be able to influence them. You need to be able to motivate them. Some people are motivated by money, some are not motivated by money. You need to be able to know how to motivate them, whether you're going to give them something for the boys or not. And then you need to be able to supervise to ensure that what you want them to do is being done, to be able to stimulate high employee performance. You want them to give you their very best to get the work done. And so this takes place in teams, in departments, divisions, and at top management levels. When it comes to leading, it's running through the organizational structure as well. And so, like we made mention, group activities are all falling under what? Leading, because we can't do things just individuals in there. We need to be able to coordinate our activities in teams, and then have a bigger picture, which is the department, and then sometimes they have divisions. Some organizations may not. As we go, we get to see the various types of organizations as well, and ultimately at the top level as well. Leading is very key. Then we come to controlling, and controlling is as simple as this. It's saying that when we want to control, we should be able to monitor the progress and make corrections by setting standards, measuring performance, comparing actual results with the standards, and taking corrective measures where significant deviations occur. So we set out to do task A. We wanted to achieve a grade A in this activity. Now, for us to be able to see whether we are on point or we are off the point, to be able to even do any corrective something, we need to monitor and see what are we really doing, what is coming up. Okay, so we are doing this. Are we in line? Are we not in line? The result of what we are doing will let us know whether comparing it to what we wanted to do, whether we are in line or we are out of line, and we can then look at how to correct these things. So deviations can be positive, they can be negative. Usually we focus a lot on the negative, where let's say you wanted to get an A and you ended up getting a C or a D in your model or in this course, and you'd be like, what did I do wrong? Maybe you didn't attend lectures, maybe you didn't read your textbooks, maybe you didn't take your personal studies serious, or your assignments, you didn't take it serious, and so you didn't perform properly. So that will let you know that then we need to correct this part or correct that part. Maybe you also set yourself a B and you ended up getting an A. That means that you underestimated yourself, or there was something you didn't look out for, which you'd have to then modify. And so correction, control is very key in management as well. You can't go to a doctor and just tell the doctor, I'm sick of malaria or something. No, the doctor would have to ask you, what have you seen so far that makes you feel like you are not feeling well or something, before he's able to deduce that maybe it's malaria that is worrying you or not, and then to correct that malaria, he may give you some anti-malaria tablets or treatment to cure that thing. That is how controlling works. So although it's a common practice in management, it includes staffing, motivation, communication, and decision making, which are also subsets of the 4 functions discussed earlier. And so that is why we're telling you that management is interrelated. It's not a one stand isolated something. They all run into each other, and that's the beauty about management. So the interconnectivity of management process is that when it comes to the role job of management, we don't just do planning and planning alone. You come to organizing, just leading and leading alone. No, these are all what interrelated. The activities run, should I say, concurrently or each other through each other. So it's not like they are separate islands. No, they coordinate and they are interrelated to each other, and they are interdependent on each other as well. Because even when you are doing controlling, it's based on the plans you have. And when you are planning, we also plan even for controlling. So we have in place monitoring and evaluation. We have in place all those issues when we are even doing the planning from the word go. And in the same way, when you're planning, you plan on how you're going to organize and all those ones. When you're organizing, you're looking out for controlling as well, the various deviations that could possibly happen. You're also looking at the plan as well. And so there's that beauty about management where all the activities are interdependent as well. Now, the levels of management basically are 3. We have the top level, we have the middle level, and we have the lower level management. So when it comes to the top level, we have your executives, you have the leadership, and all those issues that come in there. So typically, like in the University of Cape Coast, you realize that the top management, we have the top management team. You'd have your VC, Pro VC, you'd have the council, the university council, and all those key members in there who make the major decisions, the strategic decisions, the long-term plans of the university, which is later then broken down by the middle level, who are like in between the top and then the lower. And so for them, usually we see them as our functional heads, the various functional heads. So when you go to a company, you may have someone in charge of HR, someone in charge of finance, someone in charge of accounting, someone in charge of marketing, someone in charge of production. You realize that these people would break they are linked between the top and then the lower. And so when it comes to reducing the work or breaking the work down for the various people under them to get it done, they are also there. When it comes to, the bridge between the top and the lower, they are also there. And so when it comes to these people, you look at talent development, performance management, and all those issues. We'll look at this in detail in our subsequent sessions as well. Then we have the lower level, which is more of the operational level. They actually do the work, and at this level you need a lot of emotional intelligence as well, because you're working more with the people on the ground. And so our supervisors in there, we have them at the lower level management as well. So there are 3 basic levels of management. Once again, the top level, the middle level, and the lower level. And we're going to be looking at these in detail as well. But keep in mind that the top level, also known as the strategic level, they make the strategic decisions for the business. the middle level, they are the intermediary level between the top and then the lower level usually are functional heads. And then we also have the lower level who supervise the actual work on the ground. As such, we call them the operational managers, or operation level as well. And so in this session, we've discussed the various functions of management, where we looked at planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, as well as the various levels of management. Thank you very much.